some other slides, right? So we were discussing about the talent skill gap, UNICEF report, all these things.
Transformatives.
Yeah. Now we will start from this four approaches for transformation. Transformation means parivartana, how it was and how it should be. There are four approaches in NEP. If it is something abstract, please ask me. Now the topic is like this only, very abstract, and I need to speak like this only. There cannot be activities or there cannot be some illustrations. But in the second half, I can give you some illustrations. Four approaches for transformation according to NEP. Number one, holistic development. Means you should know that the very purpose of education is holistic development in the child, all-round development of personality. There are so many dimensions, and there should be development in all the dimensions: spiritual, social, skill-based, knowledge-based, attitude-based, etc. And one more important feature of NEP 2020 is lot of flexibility and diversified choices. You must be knowing about CBCS scheme, choice-based, okay, scheme, something like that. If you are aware of NEP education pattern, I think I need not explain all these things. If you are not aware of pattern of education and how it is different from the conventional type of education that was there before 2020, it is better. And flexibility means any student can take up any course. There is something called dual course. On one side, if you are doing some course, additionally, you can go for another course. And diversified choices are there. Earlier, there were hardly some 4 or 5 choices. Now, more than 40 to 50 choices are there. And NEP gives lot of scope on skill development and integrating vocational education along with education, general education. So that is there. Fine. Now, holistic development means, you can see this. I can share the slides with you also. There is a shift from conventional content-heavy based curriculum, which was based on rote learning and writing in the examination, to experiential based, practical course based. And equal opportunity and equal importance is given to humanities also. Earlier education means take science, take engineering.
Can't see the slides. Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Can't see the slides movement.
You can't see the slide movement?
No, sir.
No?
I think you need to make it view mode, like presentation mode.
Okay. Now?
No, sir.
You're not seeing the slides?
No, sir. It is actually stuck in one slide, like NEP 20 vision and ST.
Okay, slide move on. 1 second. Just wait. Now? Can you see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No, it is. Yes, sir.
Okay. So holistic development means, you say, all types of education are very important, whether it is humanities, sports, fitness, learning languages, learning about culture, learning about arts, everything is very important. It is not only science and maths. Then soft skills are plugged into curriculum. That is another aspect of holistic development. Okay, all soft skills are plugged into curriculum. See, especially some skills like communication, collaboration. Now, this is a very important skill these days. Even US is giving a lot of importance to that. Then skills related to problem solving, taking right decisions at right time. Then thinking analytically. Analytical thinking means thinking using the skill of, what is that, creative thinking and critical thinking, whether it is right or wrong, something like that. Resiliency, being very strong, being very firm, that is also very important, because these days you see a lot of fluctuations are going on. Our Indian youth sometimes cannot accept the change, cannot withstand the uncertainties. So they get into the clutches of, what is that, depression, or they may develop some suicidal tendencies, something like that. For very small reasons, silly reasons, they become staggered, they become unstable, they lose hopes. So keeping that population in view, there is something called resiliency. Means whatever may be the situation, be very strong. That is very important. Even as a psychotherapist, I always keep telling all my students, do not worry about anything. Life is very precious. Be very strong. Be very strong-minded. If not this, something else. Don't lose hopes. Be optimistic. Withstand all kinds of pressures. Life is very, very important. Lead good life. So something like that. So resiliency means being very strong-minded, physically strong, mentally strong, and withstand all the forces. Then develop leadership skills. So these are all skills which are very important, and they are called imperative life skills. Imperative life skills means life skills which are practically operating. I hope you understand. Then NEP 2020 gives chance even for other universities or universities of other countries to establish in India, or Indian universities to establish with other universities of the world. Having MOU with other universities, tie up with many universities. There are many private universities today in India which have got tie up with more than 29, 30 countries in the world. So they will have something called exchange programs also. Okay. Now we'll move. So flexibility and choices are there. There is a lot of focus on the skill development. Vocational training is given more importance. Okay. And it is a transformative blueprint for the nation's education system. It is a visionary policy. Industry relevant skills are given a lot of importance as they are very critical for students' success in today's highly competitive environment. So keeping in view all these things, all the necessary components related to enhancement of skills is given more importance in NEP. So as far as SD is concerned, I have told you earlier that Indian youth should learn all these skills not only to serve our own country, but if it is needed, they should be able to move on to other countries, work there, and get more income to our country. Something like that. Now you can see one of the report by UNICEF, 2019 report. It has estimated that at least 47% of Indian youth are not on the track to have education and skills necessary for employment in the future, especially just after 5 years. So nearly 47% of the existing youth population, they are not skilled enough to survive after 5 years. That means their skills are outdated. So that is called either skill gap or skill mismatch. Another study estimates that only 20% out of the 5 million students who graduate every year get employed in India. Only 20%. Another 80% remain either unemployed or underemployed. So where do they go? What do they do? You may not believe, my dear friends, we are little fortunate that we are in the field of education. Okay, we are getting good salary now. But take up the examples of people who work for software companies. There are thousands of graduates today without any employment, or they are ready to work just for 20,000 rupees per month, where a primary school teacher can earn more than that. So that is a problem with respect to this because they are not skilled. So within another 5 years or 10 years, we should see that the other 80% of the youth who are coming out of the colleges and universities are also given job. So how to do that? This is possible only with Skill India approach. So main reason for poor employability is mismatch in the demand and supply gap. So there is more demand, less supply. There was earlier. Now there is more supply, but less demand for those people who are not skilled. So that is the problem. So main concern of NEP 2020 is to address not only just this issue of unemployment or underemployment, but also increasing the employability skills required in the future. That is what I have been telling you. The talent skill gap exists significantly at various levels, affecting the employability scenario in almost every sector. So as per the ILO, there will be a skill deficit of 29 million. I have already told you, it affects GDP also. So these things have already been told. Look at the last point. Is a blessing in disguise. that will help bridge the gap, whereby all the outcoming graduates have been skilled with industry relevant skills. Please understand, industry relevant skills. So mismatch is a big problem. To overcome this big problem, there should not be mismatch. Mismatch means skill acquired should be skill required. So that means industry-based skills have to be listed out. There are so many programs, organizations, and industrial networks which are giving training to these. If you take the example of Infosys Technologies Limited, it has a world training center, world level training center. There's a global training center where people who have been employed by other industries, other software industries, they send their candidates here with a list of skills they want to their industries. And though these are software people, those need-based industry relevant skills are being given trained to these people, and they sent back to their original sectors. So these are called future ready professionals. Now we can't just think. Now present scenario is, look at this. I would like to give you this example. I am the owner of a software industry. I give employment to 100 people who are qualified. Look at this example. But I'll see that out of those 100 people, about 65 people are not having skills which are really necessary for my industry. So I send those 65 people to a skills training center where they get trained and they come back and they start working for me. Now, this is the present scenario. In the future, this kind of operation or procedure may not work. So what works really in the future is there should be a set of people who are already skilled, future ready professionals. Directly they are going to be employed. Earlier, what they used to do, they used to employ the graduates, get them skill training, whatever the skills that are necessary for this industry, and again reappoint them or continue them. But now the things are different. They can't invest money on training. I have already told you in the beginning itself. It has become a very severe problem to software industry people to spend money on training issues. So what they want, they are looking for already ready professionals, means future ready professionals. So training will not be given hereafter. There is no money. So in a very simple term, they want future ready professionals. So that is there. So the same points have been repeated, of course. Now NEP 2020 is paving the way for experiential and skill-based learning, aiming at promoting students' employability in the future. Employs skill-based learning models instead of knowledge-based or information-based learning models. I have already told you all these things. NEP seeks to equipping people with the knowledge and skills necessary to confidently lead the country to superpower. So that is what Indian government is seriously thinking of. We need our own children, our own people, our own youth to lead our country to superpower in the entire world with the stress on holistic development. I have already told what holistic development is. Flexible and multidisciplinary education. Can anybody tell me what multidisciplinary education is? Interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, cross.
So involving all the
Kavita?
Different areas, fields of expertise.
Okay. Now, multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary, they're the two sides of the same coin, of course. See, if you take up a particular subject, how it has been felt in all other areas. Say, for example, if you study about water, what is the physics of water? Chemistry of water, chemical composition of water, pollution aspects of water. Then biological aspects of water is what living forms are existing there. So something like that. So from different angles of view, if you study something, it is interdisciplinary. And multidisciplinary means the same topic has been taught in different ways. Say, for example, environment. Environment can be studied even in physics, chemistry, mathematics, sociology, whatnot. So environmental psychology, even in psychology, it is there. So like that, multidisciplinary education has been offered. Technology integration, of course, has been done since 2 decades. Inclusive practices are given more importance these days. Remember, dear friends, without inclusive practices, equity and equality cannot be achieved. Now, this is a great endeavor as far as NEP 2020 is concerned. So NEP 2020 bridges the gap between normative skill expectancies. Means what? Normative skill expectancies means in a normal setup, what skills are expected by the industries and required existential skilled personnel. So normally what the industries require and what is the skill that is existing in the outcoming graduates. So there is a large gap. Expected skills and existing skills. Existing skills may be outdated and they are no more productive, they are no more required. Say, for example, these days you must be knowing about it. In most of the sectors, people are undergoing in parallel with, means on the other side, they are undergoing training in artificial intelligence, machine learning, okay, artificial intelligence, whether it is a banking sector or education sector, lot of application of artificial intelligence is going on. AI application is becoming more and more severe these days. So this is another threat for employment and opportunities. I do not know what would be the future scenario as AI is becoming a very powerful and familiar tool these days. People may lose their employment opportunities. And what next strategy, I do not know what NEP is offering towards that. So existing skills and expected skills. So there is a big gap. This gap has been addressed by NEP. Remember, another 5 or 10 years, you will see that there is a slow transition. So all these things I have told you, these points in my explanation. So promotes vital skills alongside academic knowledge. Along with academics, skills are also given more importance. And it ensures every individual student acquiring a lot of expertise to succeed in the 21st century workforce. No one should lay behind. So that affects equity. Emphasizes vocational education and training to bridge education-employment gap. So education should ultimately lead to employment. So all these things are going on. And you can see that earlier literacy means 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetics. Now, at present, literacy means not that, beyond that, ICT and life skills, you see, leadership skills, skills related to communication, listening, etc., critical thinking, creative thinking, teamwork and collaboration, problem solving, decision making, analytical thinking, resiliency, powered with professionalism and work ethics. Now, the last two are added with, mostly they are emotional, they are something like all these skills should have these two, something like that. So if you are good at these things, then you can be called literates. Now, today's literates means not just knowing how to read, how to write, how to calculate, but also you should be good at these things. I'll give you 1 minute, go through these things and decide out of 10 marks, how many marks you can give to yourself. Now, how are your ICT skills? Not necessarily like an ICT engineer. How many of you know about the basics of computers? MS Office, for example. Then life skills. Now, these are all life skills only. Now, what is your leadership quality? How are you? Are you proactive? Do you have good application skills? You have good decision-making skills? Then how is your communication? How is your language? How is your body language? Then verbal and non-verbal communication skills. All these things. Critical thinking, how critically you think. Vimarshatmak Chintan. Okay, whether it is right or wrong, good or bad, should I go for this or not? That is what critical thinking is. Creative thinking, how differently you think when compared to others. How do you want to do the same thing in a different way? That is what creative thinking is. How good are you in teamwork? How is your interpersonal relationship? How is that you understand yourself as well as others? Do you have empathy on others? Okay, so that works well with teamwork. How are you with collaboration skills? Can you do it alone or do you want to do it only with collaboration with others? Now today, please understand, communication, critical thinking, creative thinking and collaboration, these are all very, very important skills which are called industry-based imperative skills. There will be skill test on these life skills when somebody wants to take in. Okay, along with the interview, there will be some kind of tests on these issues. They will test your communication skills. So please teach your children how to speak, how to use language, vocabulary, especially. Okay, then articulation skills, etc. Then problem solving. How critically a student thinks about solving a problem, especially being resourceful. So having so many solutions to a single problem. So richness in solutions. So all these things are very, very important. Resiliency, I have already told you. Professionalism means how well you fit into your profession. So plugging into your profession. You may be a teacher, for example. If you are not having good communication skills, you can't be a good teacher. If you are not good in understanding the child's mind, so psychological skills are not there in you, that means you are not a good teacher. So professionalism means having knowledge, understanding of professional needs, skills related to profession, positive attitude towards your profession, and dedicated yourself to that profession. Then only you can be called a professional skilled man. So otherwise you are not. And work ethics is very, very important. Fine. Now, so life skills hub is there in every industry today. So when the newly employed man or a candidate is going to be trained under life skills. So NEP 2020 and skill development, industrial revolution is there, where increasing demand for youth with domain expertise. Anybody knows what domain expertise is? Domain expertise.
Anybody who has knowledge in a particular
Very
limited area.
A super specialized skill. What is it, Parvati madam? That's the right answer. Super specialized skill. I may be a dentist. Again, in dentistry, what is that I am specialized with? Okay. So I may be a doctor. And in that, I may be a gastroenterologist. Again, in gastroenterology, I'm a specialist of liver. I'm a specialist of small intestine. Again, in small intestine, which part of small intestine I'm specialized with? Now, that is called domain expertise. Domain expertise. So digital literacy is there. Industrial revolution is characterized with these things. Today, industrial revolution earlier was different. Now it is different. Okay. Digital literacy means everybody should know how to handle software, hardware, etc. And all these industry relevant skills. So NEP, okay, national policy and SD is an umbrella framework. Means it's a big umbrella which takes care of many other things like. So the aim of skill-based education is to equip learners with practical abilities and attitudes that can help them solve problems. See, the aim of NSDM, you can see here, I've given the logo of that, National Skill Development Mission. It works under the Ministry of Skill Development and Education. Okay. Ramya madam, it's to ensure that youth in India are trained at the highest global standards. Look at this. Earlier, we were happy with only national standards. Now, we need to have been elevating to highest global standards in order to enable them to access employment opportunities at the global level. Okay, that is there. So conventional means a traditional content-loaded curriculum with rote learning practices is now has been converted into or modified into holistic learning. So I have already told about these things. These points, of course, they may use different words but mean the same thing. So functional skills are taken care. Please understand these things. See whether your children at home have these things and students at your institutions are having. Functional skills means any skills which are practically used every day to survive in the field, and to survive in the competitive world. Say, for example, I need to be a very good decision maker. Otherwise, I don't have leadership qualities. So I can't get into the what? A job of heading a project team, for example. I can't become a CEO of a company because I do not have decision-making skills. So every now and then, for a small reason or for a big thing, you need to be taking decisions. From morning 6 o'clock up to evening 11 o'clock, when you are, say, not sleeping, you will be taking a lot of decisions. Every moment offers you an opportunity to take a decision, whether it is a micro decision or macro decision. And decision making is a life skill which offers you so many alternatives. You need to select one best opportunity, alternative, which is comparatively better than that. That is what decision making is. Choosing the best alternative among the many. So these are called the functional skills. So repairing machines or calculating taxes, these are all functional skills. For example, if you are a BCom graduate, within 1 or 2 minutes, you should be able to calculate how much of tax a client has to pay. You can't just go on calculating, taking 1 hour, 2 hours like that. So within 5 minutes, you need to be able to calculate the taxes. Now, of course, artificial intelligence has come even to the the commerce field. These days, it is very easy to calculate the tax. Within 2 minutes or 3 minutes, it is easy. The next category of skills, self-management skills. What is it we are discussing? It may be boring to you. I'm sorry. The nature of the topic is like that. NEP is taking care of all these skills. That is what I'm talking about. Self-management skills. See, NEP is giving a lot of opportunity to develop technical skills, life skills, soft skills, imperative skills, functional skills, self-management skills, and special skills which are required for a particular job, right? So self-management means managing myself, but the behaviors which I show in the society, which will help me to generate very good opinion in the minds of others, so that they offer me so many opportunities. See, very recently, I gave career guidance to one particular fellow. I said, soon after his BCom, he joined a particular bank as a internship. Then looking to his knowledge and skills, they offered him, along with the internship, some additional 1 year opportunity. Then he wants to continue there itself. Then he came to me, shall I continue or not? So they took me on internship. Now they have offered me 1 year job. So shall I continue there or not? I said, you are a BCom graduate. Think of something else. You can't just stop your education and get into a job which offers you only 20,000 or 25,000 rupees, something like that. Then he started doing something like chartered accountant or ACCA, something like that. So taking the right decision at right time is very, very important. And he had a lot of self-management skills, because of which he was liked by all the people in the industry and they want to retain him. Look at that. They want to retain him. And in some other countries, Indians are being retained by the companies like this, looking into their self-management skills. I can give you another example. One fellow went to Canada where he's working for a company, and the company, it was a temporary job. Looking into his functional skills, self-management skills, they want to offer him a permanent job. And they are trying to get him permanent residence, PR, so that he will continue staying in Canada and work for the company. So our Indians are shining like that because of these skills. Special knowledge skills means, you see, mastering specific body of information related to work or profession or occupation. Say, for example, accounting is a special knowledge skill, catering is a skill, real estate brokering is a special type. Like that, most of the skills are special knowledge skills. Then revamping of vocational education, an immediate concern. So earlier, vocational education was given a lot of importance when IA, ITI, then diploma courses were there. Now again, it is coming back to the scene. So vocational course in all bachelor degrees programs are there. 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor programs are going on, where vocational education has been plugged with knowledge-based education. And NEP 2020 has established a specific objective of introducing skilling and vocational education to 50% of school students by 2025. Now already we are in 2025. So look at the population of high school students. Is it possible for the government to provide vocational education to 50% of total population? In Karnataka itself, you can see that nearly 8.5 lakhs of students are taking up SSLC examination. That means every year there will be around 8 to 9 lakhs of students in state syllabus schools itself. Take CBSE schools, take ICSE schools, take other type of curriculum. Altogether, there will be around 20 lakhs of students. Now, is it possible for our government to take care of around 10 lakhs of students by giving vocational education in the high school level itself? The two, within 2030, all 100% students should be given training. So this is a mammoth task. So still it is going on, of course. So all these things we have already told you. So emphasizing the dignity of labor and Indian arts, and see, there is a social stigma which says that work-based, skill-based works are, they are, taken on a less ground, and dignity of labor, white-collar jobs, all these things are again and again being discussed. Okay. Anyhow, NEP is doing very well. So vocational education will be integrated. I know I have already told you these things. In addition to academic, there will be skill-based. To achieve this objective, secondary schools will be working in collaboration with IIT, ITIs, polytechnics, local industries, etc. Skill labs are being set up in schools. You must be knowing about Atal Tinkering Lab. How many of you know about it? Atal Labs. So labs are being set up in high schools, especially in CBSE schools. Okay, STEM education is being given. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, like that. So there is focused areas of VE will be chosen based on skill gap. So the government is seriously looking into what gaps are being existing. Based on skill gaps which are existing, Ministry of Education is constituting a national committee to integrate vocational education. This is called NCIVE. Now, this is now being established, which is taking care of what skills are necessary, what updates are necessary, and how these skills can be plugged into the curriculum which is existing. So all these things are there, which is going on. And the National Skills Qualification Framework, NSQF, will be detailed further. Now, all these things are associations and organizations which are established by central government, okay, to take care of the future skill problem, right? The credit-based framework will also facilitate. Credit-based framework means, a lot of flexibility is there, choices are there, credit-based curriculum are there, course papers are there. Based on that, credit-based means, you see, if you have these skills, this many credits to your bank. How many of you know about credit bank? Credit bank. Anybody knows? Every student will have something called credit bank.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That is, if you have the listed competencies, if you acquire each and every competency, some credits are going to be added to the student's bank. So more credits, more marks, more percentage, something like that. And hereafter, the industries will look into how many credits the students have scored in their credit bank. How many credits have been deposited. So each competence, 1 credit, something like that. So more and more skills, more and more, interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary courses are being added into the curriculum as per NEP, and every student is coming out with more specialized skills as well as subsidiary skills. So skill development always leads to economic development, very well. So today Japan is good, China is number one because a lot of importance has been given to skill. And very recently I was talking about multiple intelligences. Multiple intelligences. Ramesh, multiple intelligences means every student will have different types of intelligences. According to Howard Gardner, there are around 8 to 9 intelligences. Ramya is seen on the screen now. Hi, Ramya. Okay. Now, there is something called musical intelligence. Then kinesthetic intelligence means students will study using activities. Then logical and mathematical intelligence, natural intelligence, linguistic intelligence, okay, social intelligence, then cultural intelligence, emotional intelligence. Like that, there are so many dimensions in the personality of a man. So even the learning styles are different. So keeping in view this diversity of intelligences and learning styles, the curriculum has been revamped. So more and more analysis of intelligences that are existing in each student has been taken seriously in countries like Japan and China. In countries like Japan and China or Korea, see, the skill which is existing is identified at the earlier stage itself. They don't wait till the student reaches 16 years or 18 years. Which student is good with what skill? That is identified at the age of 6 years or 10 years itself. And keeping that in view, that specific skill will be given in training. So 3 main types of skill development. Okay. Now this is very important. I want everybody to know about these 3 terms. Upskilling, cross-skilling, and reskilling. You are seeing on the screen the details also. Upskilling means improving skills in the current role. See, you're already employed. You're doing some skilled job. Again, there are updates in that skill. You need to update those skills and work more efficiently. So you're improving your skill is called upskilling. Say, for example, I am a teacher working in a school. I'm good at using of computers in my profession. Now, all those computer-based skills are becoming very normal. Everybody knows about it. My management wants me to update my computer-related skills using artificial intelligence. So using AI in all my computer-related works becomes additional skill or attached skill. So I am improving my existing skill with updated components of the same skill. So earlier I was not having good communication skills. Now I have added to that. Earlier I knew only English or I knew only regional language. Now I have acquired a skill which is called bilingual competency, wherein I can use both the languages together without affecting any of the either languages. So, or anybody. So, using of bilingual competence along with the linguistic skills, okay, is called upskilling. Knowing about what latest things have taken place in your field. Cross-skilling means learning new skills for the current role. Learning new skills for the current role. See, I'm a teacher. Once again, we're all teachers. So that's why I'm telling this. So I know I'm a very good teacher of my subject. Maybe physics like Karthik or chemistry by somebody else or whatever it is. I may be a good commerce teacher also. But I will undergo a training in guidance and counseling. So after undergoing a 3 months or 6 months or 1 year training in guidance and counseling, now I can use my guidance and counseling skills along with my content knowledge. So I'm learning new skills. So this is called Cross skilling. Cross skilling. Okay. Reskilling means learning new skills to move on to new role.
Yes.
I don't have any job. Now I'll acquire all the skills related to what? What is that? Real estate. Real estate skills. Skills related to real estate. So I may move to that field. I didn't have any kind of cooking knowledge or cooking skills. Now I am fed up with Ramesh. So I want to learn cooking. So I learn all the chef skills. Now I start a hotel. So learning skills which are related to other fields is called reskilling. So upskilling means getting updated with the new added skills with the same skill what I have. So skill will expand. So newly added components of the same skill have been learned by me. For example, I know PowerPoint presentation, right? One simple example. I'm giving an example for upskilling. I know PowerPoint presentation, but now I would like to know how animation effects can be given to the slides. So today I will undergo one training to know how to animate my slides. So already I had PowerPoint presentation making skill. Now I have learned another component of it. That is what upskilling is. Cross-skilling means learning new skills which are necessary for the current role. See, I did not know anything about counseling skills, but I am working as a teacher. But if I become a good counselor, it adds to my proficiency. So I learn counseling skills. So learning new skills which are necessary to play your role much better is called cross-skilling. Then reskilling means I want to change my field. I want to learn some other skills related to some other fields. So that is what reskilling is. So you must be knowing about PMKVY, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal, what? Youth training program. Okay. So Kaushal Vikasan Yojana, something like that. It's a flagship scheme of the Ministry of Skill Development, what our national government is doing. So you must be knowing about all these things, which are very, very important. PMKVY. And see, we are very lucky to have this kind of project by the central government because it is taking care of unemployment problems of millions of youths in our country. So that is why we call it flagship scheme of the Ministry of Skill Development. So it's a skill development initiative scheme of the Government of India for recognition and standardization of skills. So it was launched on 16th of July 2015. So now it is almost 25, now 10 years back in New Delhi, of course. The scheme offers, this is very important. I want everybody to go to Google and see what all things have taken place in this particular field. You can guide your students. It offers cost-free industry-related skill training to unemployed youth and school or college dropouts. Look, it is not only taking care of the graduations and the students under this stream still, it takes care of dropouts and stagnated students also, make them fit for employment. See, there is something called stagnation and wastage. Stagnation means a student has stopped. The wastage means a student has stopped and he is out of education. Stagnation means he has been studying in the same level. He is failed in 8th, again next year also he is failed, and he is in 8th only since 3 years. So that is stagnated, something like that. So the scheme offers valid certification. Remember, now this project is a very dream project of Indian national government, which offers free training on skill, okay, industry-based skills. Then it is going to certify, looking into the quality of skills that are acquired. So the scheme offers valid certification and a Skill India card. Skill India card. I'll give you the statistics, on the basis of which the candidates can apply for jobs and earn a livelihood. So they can go to any industry, show that card, and how many credits have been deposited. The card reflects that, and based on that, they can be employed. Look at the statistics. So the objective of this skill certification scheme is to enable Indian youth to take up industry relevant skills, right? So even it takes care of prior learning. Recognizing the prior learning means there may be some people who have already learned some skills. So existing skills, that is also being taken care. Look at the updates as per December 2023 date. Enrolled candidates under PMKVY, you can see how many? 14 crores, 52 lakhs, 65,716 candidates were enrolled in the year 2023. So almost 1.5 years back. Trained candidates out of 14 crores, 52,000, 1 crore 37 lakhs 24,226. Out of 14 crores, only 1.5 crores have been trained. Assessed candidates out of 1 crore 37 crores, 37 lakhs, only 1 crore 24 lakhs have been assessed. And certified only 1 crore 10 lakhs. And placed candidates only 24 lakhs. So look at the difference between enrollment and placement. The first one and the last one. So 14 crores candidates were enrolled, out of which around 25 lakhs of candidates have been placed. It is the scenario of PMKVY in the year December 2023. So it is offering short-term course, short-term training, STT of 3 months, 6 months, something like that. It also recognizes the skills which are already there. Prior learning means a student might be knowing some skills. So you might have already learned a skill. So that is what they take it as a foundation, and they build other skilled programs on that. And special projects are also taken care. So short-term training, this is of course given in schools and colleges for dropouts and unemployed youth. Apart from providing training according to the National Skill Qualification Framework, see, training is given to impart life skills, of course, entrepreneurship skills, then financial and digital literacy skills. Okay. Upon successful completion of assessment, candidates are provided placement assistance by training providers. So placement is also taken care here. So recognition of prior learning means the student who has already acquired some learning. So that is also being considered and taken as a foundation. Then special projects are also taken up, looking into special skills. Then key highlights of the courses under the PMKVY. Look at this. Inclusivity in skill development means all kinds of people are taken into skill building. We see, they don't differentiate, saying that they are specially, they are girls, they are boys. So no gender disparity here. Specially able people may be there, visually blind people, or hearing impaired students, physically handicapped children. They are also taken care. So that is what inclusivity in skill development. You are seeing that there is a rule which says that nearly 5 to 10% of the employment should be given to the physically handicapped children. I have seen that, like that. Industry standard training. So training which is given should be always in par with the required standard of industries. So giving some training here, and if the industry training level, standard level is different, then it is of no use. Then PMKVY also taken care of, it's taking care of National Skill Qualification Framework. Now this is nothing but ranking. See how universities and colleges are being ranked at national level. So every candidate is going to be ranked with credits, okay, deposited in the credit bank. Then I've already told you about recognition of prior learning. Soft skill training is also given. Then monetary rewards and certification will be given to the right candidates. And continuous monitoring and updating of curriculum. So all these things are taken care in this project, which is called Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikasan Yojana. Like that. So life skills, I have already told you, these are the abilities for adaptive and positive behavior. For example, suddenly something happens in your life. So how do you understand the situation? Accept that situation and train your mind to develop some skills which are necessary to overcome that problem. And normally these are the psychological competencies which are necessary for every individual to lead quality life. There are hundreds of life skills, and WHO has listed around 10 to 12 life skills as very important life skills, which includes what? Decision making, creativity, critical thinking, understanding oneself, understanding others, time management, empathy, stress management, resolving conflicts. Okay, communication skills. These are all some very important 10 to 15 skills which are being used by everybody every moment of life. So that is why life skills are very, very important. Without life skills or without life skill education, I think quality life is not possible for any person. So that is why any hard skills, if there, may not be of any use if life skills are not being applied by. For example, I am very good in a particular practical skill. If I don't have soft skills, my hard skill may not be of any use, like that. So this is how WHO has classified the skills. I have already told you 3 categories. Thinking skills, something that is related to thinking ability of the brain. Creative thinking, okay, that is ಸೃಜನಾತ್ಮಕ ಚಿಂತನ್, ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ವಿಮರ್ಶಾತ್ಮಕ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬರೀ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. 5 ಕಾಲವರೆಗೂ ಅಲ್ವಾ? 5 ಗಂಟೆ. ಓಕೆ. Then problem solving, then decision making. These are all thinking related. Then personal skills. I told you, personal management, self-awareness, self-management. What is self-awareness? Anybody knows? Another 20 minutes. Self-awareness, being aware of oneself. What are my strengths? What are my limitations? Say how can I convert my strength, my weakness into a strength? What opportunities I have in my life? When I want to use those opportunities, what challenges I will come across? What barriers I come across? My strengths and limitations. This is called self-awareness. Coping with stress, coping with emotions. These are all very, very important personal skills. Then interpersonal skills means skills which are necessary for me to cope up with the society, to move with the people, to be successful in a group. So effective communication, cooperation, empathy, interpersonal relationship, all these things are. So measures to promote skill-based education, these are all there. I have already told you. Again, repetition. Vocational education we have already discussed. Technology integration I told. Entrepreneurship education means giving education to have skills related to establishing startups. Now there are so many incentives programs. You see, if anybody want to start up, you start with a startup. Startup means Navodhyama. I want to start a hotel. I want to start a Xerox, a photocopying, business. I want to start a small counseling center. So that is called Navodhyam or entrepreneurship. So education for entrepreneurship is also being taken care. So all these things are the points which I have already discussed here and there. I have told about NSDA, National Skill Development Agency is there working. NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation is working. Now NEP is taking assistance, is suggesting so many things to work out in collaboration with all these things. That is what NEP and these things are related. Okay, the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, okay, MSDE was set up in November 2014. And this is different, to drive the Skill India agenda in a mission mode. Look at this, in a mission mode, in order to converge the existing skill training initiatives and combine scale and quality of skilling efforts with speed, high speed learning. So suddenly the whole world scenario is changing. So how to keep in pace with this sudden change of the world, that is very important. Now, there is something called resistance against change. When a lot of changes are going on, suddenly if you are told to quit, how do you take life? So that is why I would strongly recommend each one of you to train your children at home to be ready with the futuristic skills also. So government is seriously taking care of all these things. You can see that Then Directorate General of Training, DGT, is also there. At state level, states are also encouraged to create state skill development mission. Like NSDM, we need to have SSDM along with lines of national missions for skill development. So CBSE schools have already started giving skill training right from 6th, 7th, like that. And these are the slides which throw light on how skill courses are being introduced in CBSE schools. Skill subject is added as 6th subject. There are 5 subjects right now. So additionally, one more course has been added to that called 6th subject, which is called skill subject. Student has to take up the practical course, take up the exam, earn credits, and even that is going to be considered to declare the results. Then skill development clubs and activities are going on in CBSE schools. There is something called robotic club. If you have children studying in CBSE schools, you can ask them. Debate and public speaking groups are being constituted in CBSE schools. Art and craft clubs are there. Sport and fitness clubs are there. Community service clubs are there. Now, all these clubs are functioning vigorously, keeping in view various types of technical skills, life skills, and industry-based skills, of course, to be developed among citizens of future. Okay. Now, CBSE skill education framework is there. This needs a lot of time to work. Why I am telling you this? They've already started using NEP, suggestions or propositions in their curriculum. So they have curriculum integration, skill-based curriculum has been added with the knowledge-based curriculum. Then teacher training. Now, these teachers who are already working in CBSE schools are being given some special training related to skill training. Then assessment and certification also is being done. Then industry collaboration is also done. And information technology skills are also there. And CBSE schools are working in collaboration and partnership with other industry-based sectors in the society. Then student assessment and feedback mechanisms are also going on. Okay. Then entrepreneurship courses are there. Startup incubation programs are there. Competitions and challenges are always there. Mentorship is also being given. And this is a big list of skills which are being trained as per NEP by PM Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikasan Yojana. Now, latest edition is artificial intelligence. Now, look at these fields. All these fields are offering so many jobs, but mismatch is there. Jobs are there, but skilled persons are not there. Skilled persons are there, but in complementary with those skills, the setups are not there. Artificial intelligence, beauty and wellness, design thinking and innovation, financial literacy, handicrafts, information technology, marketing, mass media, travel and tourism, coding, data science. Now, these things are becoming more and more important these days. Augmented reality or virtual reality. So, you can see a big list of areas or arenas wherein skilled jobs are existing. Now, how these modules have been used, you can see the skill modules are of 12 to 15 hours duration per week. At least 12 to 15 hours of training will be given per week. 70% of the time duration must be devoted to hands-on experience. So 30% theory and 70% practicals. Bagless days are being introduced. So weekly, one day there is no bag. Student will go without bags. They work practically in the schools. So there are so many points on how CBSE schools are offering skill-based education. So there is something called Skill India Mission. So within another 10 to 15 years, every individual youth graduate who is coming out of the university should be skilled. That is what? This one. And I want to show some other list of skills, madam. We have another, this one slide wherein you can see a lot of this thing. Now, focus areas these days, artificial intelligence, then robotics, IoT, Internet of Things, data science, cloud computing, virtual reality, cyber security, 5G connectivity. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 5 minutes ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಬನ್ನಿ. So you can see all these things, right? So this is a big list of things. I want to show you the latest list of skills. I want another 5 or 10 minutes. You can see that there is something called skill set. Can you see this list? Can you see the list on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
You
Look
can
at
see.
this. This is a list of job roles in the year 2022. And this is around 165 job roles are being listed. Now, special training is given in Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikasan Yojana. It is according to alphabets. NSQF level means National Skill Qualification, okay, framework. So 3 means top 3. From top 1, 2, 3 means that. So 192 hours in the course has been spent on this. Look at this. Aerospace and aviation. In that there are many roles. Airline cargo assistant. There is a special training for that. Cargo assistant means in the aerodrome or in the, what is that? This one. There is cargo means luggage, something related to luggage. Assistant should be there to carry the luggage from one plane to another, something like that. So airline cargo assistant, airline baggage handler, airline customer service executive, airline security executive, airline reservation agent. No, currently these 1 to 5, these are the 5 trainings are given to people under aerospace and aviation. If you take up agriculture sector, look, animal health worker, aquaculture worker, beekeeper, broiler poultry farm worker, dairy farmer or entrepreneur, then layer farm worker, floriculturist. Flora means flower. Floriculturist, protected cultivation, open cultivation, protected cultivation. Protected means covered. Open means it is open to the air. Then greenhouse operator, then micro irrigation technician, organic grower, quality seed grower, small poultry farmer, tractor operator, artificial insemination technician. This comes even under animal husbandry. Then mushroom grower, ornamental fish technician, seed processing worker, etc. No, this is, the last 2 minutes. This is a very big list only with respect to agriculture. So like that, 165 areas of skills have been listed out, and skills related to these areas, food processing, you can see, electronics and hardware, food processing, okay, then green jobs, solar PV installer, electrical, handicrafts and carpets, bamboo basket making, bamboo mat weaver, bamboo utility handicrafts, then healthcare management, say for example, frontline health worker in a hospital, then infrastructure equipments, then iron and steel limited, management and entrepreneurship and professionals, okay, then media and entertainment, makeup artist, hairdresser, editor, sound editor, then office assistant, then mining, then people with disability, for them, separate trainings, okay, last 2 minutes. Then in the sector of power, electricity or whatever it is, these are the things. Then retailing, then rubber industries, sports field, telecom industries, tourism and hospitality. Then now in the year 24 and 25, look at this, PMKVY 4, number 4. This was number 3. So additionally, some more jobs have been added here. It is more than 165. Apparel and makeup, home furnishing. Okay, look at this. Sorry, just last 2 minutes. Then automotive field. Then look at this field, additional fields. Okay. Then apparel and made up and home furnishing. Then banking, financial services and insurance, BFSI. Then capital goods. Now these are the areas added to PMVY in the latest years. That is 2025-26. Under electronics, these are the new skill areas that are being added for training. Food industry, then capacity and skill initiative. Under that, these are the added new areas. So furniture and fittings, new areas. Okay, like that there are many. So now almost some 500 to 600 areas have been identified, and all these are job roles. And who told that there is no employment? There are so many employment. You need to get trained. So my dear friends, NEP 2020, I am coming to the conclusion. Thanks for your cooperation. This is a very laborious and boring session which has a lot of theoretical inputs. I just want to tell you that NEP is very, very important because it is offering so many programs related to skills. Otherwise, nearly 80% of the youth who are becoming unemployed in future will remain unemployed if NEP 2020 along with the skill development is taken seriously in any state of the country. I think the future problem of antisocial elements can be